continuing with oxygen family, today we discuss halides and oxo acids of oxygen family. So first of all, we take halides. All the members of oxygen family, they are capable of combining with halogens and produce number of halides. They may be monohalides, dihalides, tetrahalides, and hexahalides, where they show +1, +2, +4, +6 oxidation states. By utilizing their vacant d orbital, they can extend their oxidation number, oxidation state also. So what are the monohalides? Monohalides are the compound like S2Cl2, S2F2. Then we have dihalide, stable dihalide is SCl2, tetrahalide we have SF4 and SCl4. Then we have hexahalide SF6. This is the stable halide. Although other elements they also form halides, but they are less stable as compared to the halides of sulfur. And S2Cl2 is also called as sulfur monochloride. This is sulfur dichloride. Sulfur tetrachloride, tetrafluoride, and chloride. Then we have sulfur hexafluoride. The monohalide, they are less stable, they immediately decompose into more stable dihalides. So coming to the structure of dihalides, here sulfur is sp3 hybridized just like water. It has 2 lone pairs and 2 chlorine bond pairs. So this is sulfur dichloride. It is tetrahedral in shape, which is distorted due to lone pair ripples. Then we have structure of tetrahalide SF4. It is having a structure S. Here sulfur is sp3 dehybridized. Then we have SF6. Here shape is octahedral. Hybridization in sulfur is sp3d2. So these are the structures of important dihalide, tetrahalide, and hexahalides. Then we have structure of the after doing the structure of these halides, we come to the oxo acids of sulfur. These are very important compound. When oxides of these elements they combine with your water, they produce oxo acids. Sulfur shows number of oxidation states, and in each oxidation state it is capable of forming oxo acid. So this is second property, oxo acids. Overall fourth chemical property it is oxo acids or oxy acids of sulfur. Number one is sulfurous acid. Formula is H2SO3, structure is H2SO3. So it is having 4 electrons shared and 1 lone pair is left on it. Then we have second structure, sulfuric acid. it is H2SO4. It is having no lone pair, two bonds are formed, two double bonds are formed, two oxygen, and two single bonds are formed with oxygen of OH group. Then we have Carose acid. This is called a H2SO5. These are dibasic acids because they are capable of releasing two protons. Then we have oleum, H2S2O7. It is also a dibasic acid since it can release two protons. Dibasic acid it is. Then we have thiosulfuric acid. Thiosulfurous acid, H2S2O3. This lone pair is shared by sulfur. This is sulfurous acid. Then we have dithionous acid, H2S2O4. This is also a dibasic acid. Then we have polythionic acid, which is having 6 oxygen and 2 hydrogen, H2SN in sulfur in catenated form, O6. So we have S, OH, SN, S, OH, 2 oxygen joined by double bonds. So this is polythionic acid. Then we have the peroxo monosulfuric acid, that is also called as Carose acid. We have already discussed its structure. So this is regarding the oxo acids of the sulfur. Then we have peroxo disulfuric acid. This is 7/8 compound peroxo disulfuric acid. It is having 2 oxygen. This is peroxo H2S2O8. So all of these oxo acids, they are dibasic in nature. They are capable of releasing 2 protons during their reactions. Then we come to the next question, very important question. Discuss Frost process for extraction of sulfur from the earth core. अर्थ में से सल्फर को एक्सट्रैक्ट करने का एक मेथड है ये, which is known by name of the scientist, is called as Frost process. So our next question is discuss Frost process. To extract sulfur. So Frost process. So Frost process involves the sinking of, it is used to extract sulfur. Sulfur is extracted by sinking three concentric pipes by drilling hole in the earth crust, and from the outer pipe air is bubbled, while from the other pipe hot water is added, and then from the central pipe sulfur in the form of some froth comes out, and this sulfur is later on purified to get pure sulfur. So we have large sources of sulfur in our earth crust. In order to trap that sulfur, we drill holes in the earth crust, and then three concentric pipes, they are passed into those holes. From the outer pipe it is air which is blasted, and from the central pipe we blast the water. They both of them, they dissolve sulfur, and this sulfur comes from the central pipe in the form of froth, which is taken out and is subjected to the purification and in the preparation of compounds. Then we have another question, question number 4. Discuss preparations and properties of dioxygen. Preparations of dioxygen. It can be prepared from the mixture of potassium permanganate and sodium peroxide. So heating 2 kMnO4 with 5 Na2O2 and sulfuric acid concentrate. So when it is heated, we will get K2SO4, 2MnSO4, Na2SO4 and oxygen along with water. So we get K2SO4, we get 2MnSO4, we get 5 Na2SO4, Na2SO4, we get water, and 5 O2 is obtained. So we are having 2 sulfate, 5, 7, 8, we will be doing here 8, and we will be producing 8 water here. So this is our required product which we needed, that is oxygen. It can also be obtained by heating metal oxides. So second method is by heating mercury oxide. It is heated simply to get Hg plus O2. Then we have third method, that is from रेड लेड सिंदूर जो है उससे भी हम इसको पा सकते हैं. It is heated, we get 6 PbO plus O2. So O2 can also be obtained from this. Then we have silver oxide and MnO2 to get oxygen. It is heated, you get 2 Ag. If you take 4 here, 4 Ag plus O2 here. Then we have from MnO2, Mn2O3 plus 3O2. So MnO2 on heating give you Mn3O4. Mn3O4 will be the product plus O2. So these are the ways how we prepare oxygen from oxides. Then we have decomposition of water through electrolysis. वाटर की आपको इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस करनी है. In electrolytic cell you will get 2H2 plus O2. Then we have very important laboratory method, that is by heating potassium chlorate 2KClO3 heated in the presence of catalyst MnO2, you will get 2KCl plus 3O2. So all of these methods we have produced oxygen. Now what are the physical properties of oxygen? It is colorless, odorless, tasteless gas, slightly soluble in water. About 30 ml of 30 cc of oxygen dissolves in about 1 liter of water. This is the dissolved oxygen on which marine life survives. Then we have isotopes of oxygen. Oxygen has 3 isotopes. We They are O816, O817 and O818. These are the isotopes of oxygen. Then we have chemical properties. It is neutral to litmus. Litmus पे there is no effect of oxygen. It is supporter of combustion. It is a powerful oxidizing agent. Then we come to the chemical properties of oxygen. They are action on metals. Whatever compound we studied, four headings are common: action on metal, action on non-metal, action on compounds, and action on hydrocarbons in case of oxygen. So we'll be first taking the action of oxygen. As we know that oxygen combined with metals to give you basic oxide. Basic oxide देता है. So now we come to the chemical properties of oxygen. First of all, action on metals. Potassium plus oxygen, it gives you potassium superoxide. Na reacts with oxygen to give you Na2O2. And we have magnesium or calcium which are bivalent metal. They will combine with oxygen to give you monoxide. Calcium also combines with oxygen to give you 2CaO. All of these oxides, they are basic in nature. There is important question, why potassium produces potassium superoxide. It is not producing sodium type of compound K2O2. It is due to high electropositivity of potassium. Only one atom of potassium can combine with two oxygen due to its high electropositivity. That's why it is capable of forming superoxide. Similar to potassium, rubidium also have the tendency to form superoxide. The reason being is it is also highly electropositive metal. So all of these metals, these oxides, they are highly basic in nature. Similarly, aluminium can also combine with oxygen to give you Al2O3. Iron can combine with 2Fe2O3, ferric oxide, with hydrated Fe2O3 is called as rust also. All of these oxides, they are basic in nature. Then we come to the action on non-metals. All of the non-metals, they combine with oxygen forming oxides. C plus O2, CO2. All these oxides, they are volatile in nature. They are in the gaseous form due to weak van der Waals forces. They escape from the surface of the compound on heating. NO is formed at very high temperature, that is around about 300 Kelvin. Then we have post-Wald process, preparation of nitric acid. This is used. Post-Wald process. 4NH3 first of all combines with 5O2 to give you 4NO plus 6H2O. NO in the next step combines with O2 to give you 2NO2. In the third step, NO2 dissolves in water. In the presence of O2 to give you 4HNO3, we can take 4NO2 here, 2H2O, and this will give you nitric acid. So oxygen has very important role to play in the preparation of nitric acid. Action on HCl. Four HCl heated with oxygen, you get 2H2O plus chlorine gas. So HCl can also combine SnCl2 in the presence of 2HCl, and oxygen will give you SnCl4 plus H2O. So this is the reaction on compounds of oxygen. Then we come to other properties of oxygen. Action on CH2 gives CO2 plus sulfur dioxide. Action on sulfides of metal, it will produce oxides from the sulfides. Fifth is action on CH2 plus O2, you will get CO2 plus 2SO2. Carbon disulfide, when reacted with oxygen, it will produce CO2. Then we have action on ZNS. You get 2ZNO plus 2SO2. Similarly, other sulfides like HGS can combine with oxygen to give you 2Hg plus SO2. You can also get 2HgO here. 3O2 will be consumed here. Then very important reaction, as we know, that is action on the hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons burn with oxygen, releasing large amount of energy. This reaction is the basis of our fuel industry. Hydrocarbons, they are used as a fuels in domestic purposes as well as industrial purposes. So action on hydrocarbons. All the hydrocarbons, whether they are alkenes or alkynes, they combine with oxygen, releasing large amount of energy. They combine with ethylene. Plus heat. Similarly, acetylene, which is also used in the oxo-acetylene flame for welding purpose. All of these, they are ignited. So this combustion of hydrocarbons, it forms the basis of use of hydrocarbons as you can say the fuels in the domestic or industrial purposes. Then by passing silent electric discharge through oxygen gas, we can get ozone. We take 3 molecules of it. Now pass silent electric discharge means there should be no sparking during the passage of current. Electric discharge will give you 2O3. This is ozone. This is the structure of ozone. So we prepare ozone by this method. Then we have the uses of oxygen. It is used in the oxyhydrogen flame. It is used in the acetylene torches, which are used for cutting and welding of the metals. It is used in the metallurgical operations processes. It is used in the artificial respiration, in ventilator. Liquid oxygen is used in the rocket fuels, in the preparation of organic and number of inorganic compounds. It is also used in the preparation of synthesis gas, that is CO plus H2. This mixture is called as synthesis gas. It is used in the synthesis of the organic compounds. Then we have another important question of oxygen, a related question, that is what are oxides, how many types of oxides are there, give their uses. So whenever metals, non-metals and metalloids, they combine with oxygen, they produce number of oxides as we have already done. Oxides of metals, they are basic in character. Oxides of non-metals, they are acidic in character, and some oxides of non-metals, they have neutral character. Some oxides of metal, they have amphoteric character. They have both properties. They behave as acidic as well as basic. So our next question is, what are oxides? Discuss their types and uses. So answer is oxides. These are the binary compounds of all the elements with oxygen, and these compounds, they are of many types. Number one, basic oxides. These are the oxides of metals and they dissolve in water to give you bases. As we know, Na2O, KO2, CaO, MgO, all of these, they are basic oxide. Then we have acidic oxides. These are the oxides of non-metal like SO2, CO2, which dissolves in water to give you acid. ऑक्सी एसिड देते हैं ये, दे प्रोड्यूस बेसिस, जैसे कि CaO है, अगर आप इसको पानी में डिजोल्व करते हैं यू विल गेट कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड. दिस इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज लाइम वाटर विच इज यूज्ड इन द मेडिसिन्स आल्सो. बेसिक मेडिसिन्स में यूज़ किया जाता है. देन वी हैव न्यूट्रल ऑक्साइड्स. These oxides dissolving in water neither produce acid nor produce bases. N2O is a neutral oxide. Carbon monoxide is also a neutral oxide. So these are called as acidic oxides. NOCO. NO is also a neutral oxide. Then we have amphoteric oxides. These are the oxides of those metals which have metalloid type of character. These oxides, they can combine with acids as well as bases. For example, we have Al2O3, we have ZNO. They behave as a amphoteric oxides. They can combine with acids as well as bases. Then we have some mixed oxides. Mixed oxides are the oxides of the same metal which are having two types of oxide. For example, FeO and Fe2O3 combine to give you Fe3O4. Similarly, PbO plus PbO2 can give you Pb3O4. This is red lead, also called known as Sindhur. So Pb3O4. Now this is regarding the oxides, and these are the very important compounds. They are used in the metallurgical operations. They are used to give the color to the glasses. They are used to give color to the medicines. Titanium oxide is added in medicines, and it is very important compound in limited amount for the body also. These oxides, they are also used to prepare glasses, sodium silicate, etc., and to color them. It is used in, these oxides are also used in the preparation of cement to impart color to the cement. So these oxides, these are very important compounds. So coming to the next topic, that will be ozone, which is a allotrope of oxygen. Ozone, as we have seen during the properties of oxygen, that ozone can be prepared from oxygen by passing silent electric discharge through the ozone. This process is carried out in two types of ozonizers. They are called as Brody's ozonizer and Simon ozonizer. And ozone can also be prepared by passing your fluorine gas through water. अगर हम वाटर में से फ्लोरीन गैस को पास करें, then we get ozone. So let us now discuss in the next question, discuss preparation of ozone. Number one is from oxygen, 3O2, silent electric discharge. We get 2O3. Second is by passing fluorine gas through water. You get 6HF plus ozone gas. This process is brought in two types of ozonizer. First process, it is done in Brody's ozonizer. and Simon ozonizer. Now, what is these processes? In Brody's ozonizer, we have tuning fork, जो फिजिक्स में हम यूज करते हैं, लाइक टेस्ट ट्यूब. उस तरह की एक ग्लास की ट्यूब होती है, लाइक ट्यूनिंग फॉर्क. ये है ऐसी. यहाँ से ऑक्सीजन पास की जाती है और यहाँ से ये आउटलेट है जो कि ओजोन को देगी. ऑक्सीजन इज पास थ्रू आउटसाइड द दिस ग्लास ट्यूब. वी हैव टिन फॉयल्स टू हीट अप दिस ट्यूब. उसको हीट अप करने के लिए टिन फॉयल लगाए जाते हैं जिनमें से हाई वोल्टेज जो है पास की जाती है. हाई वोल्टेज सोर्स यहाँ लगाया जाता है. तो यहाँ से जब ऑक्सीजन क्रॉस कर रही होगी साइलेंट इलेक्ट्रिक करंट के दौरान, इट विल चेंज इनटू द ओजोन गैस. तो ये ओजोन गैस में बदल जाएगी. और जो ब्रॉडीज ओजोनाइजर है, इन दैट केस टिन फॉयल, दे हैव बीन रिप्लेस्ड बाय सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड. तो इस ट्यूब को सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड के बाथ में डिप कर दिया जाता है और 2 इलेक्ट्रोड यहाँ लगाए जाते हैं. उनसे इलेक्ट्रिक करंट पास किया जाता है. इलेक्ट्रिक करंट पास करने पे दिस ट्यूब गेट्स हीटेड अप. जो काम इलेक्ट्रिक करंट कर रहा था, नाउ इट इज डन बाय द सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड बाथ and oxygen is when passed through this tube, it gets converted into ozone. So this is about the preparation of ozone. In next lecture we will be discussing chemical properties of ozone.